So the first case here is Bonici and Bonici. This was a 20-year marriage, and there was an inheritance received by the husband about 6 months prior to the separation. It's scary how often we see that occur, where there's a large windfall, often an inheritance, and a short period of time later the parties separate. So together for 20 years, 19 and a half years in, the husband receives this significant inheritance in his personal name, and 6 months later he separates from his wife. And the wife argued that the inheritance he should receive should be included in the matrimonial pool. It should be available for division between the two, while the husband tried to argue it should be a financial resource only because it was an amount he'd received from his parents. It wasn't an amount that he and his wife had built up during the relationship. But the court held that an inheritance is not protected just because it's an inheritance. They said there might be instances where an inheritance is protected and where it's not available as a matrimonial property, but that's not the starting point. There needs to be some exceptional circumstances that apply in order for that to be the case. And therefore here, that entire inheritance was included in the matrimonial pool, subject to the parties then making submissions about their respective contributions. Now, one of the factors that came into play in that case was that the wife put forward arguments which were accepted by the court that she had actually contributed to the value of the wealth that was inherited by the husband, because the overall family, the parents, the husband, the wife, had been involved in a restaurant business to which she'd contributed, and to which she contributed for less than market value. So she'd done some unpaid work. She'd also had homemaking duties while the husband was involved in the business. So one of the factors that the court considered when deciding that that inheritance was matrimonial property was the fact that the wife had made some sort of contribution to the overall value of the parents' estate that passed to the husband. So in that first instance, we've got that inheritance entirely exposed.